Hey everybody, good morning, welcome back. Welcome back to Blu-Roy Movies. Yeah, we're back in the movie room for some pickups. Got some DVDs, got some Blu-rays, no 4Ks. This week we're slumming it a little bit, but not really. DVDs and Blu-rays are still good. It's horrible dank mornings. Let's talk about some films. Unfortunately, it's affecting the lighting in the movie room a little bit, but we should persevere, shall we? Should just have to battle on. Yeah, let's talk about what I've picked up. This is over the last couple of weeks or so. Not a great deal, and not much money spent actually, which is a good thing. First a couple of John Wayne DVDs that I didn't have in the collection, and I don't think there's Blu-rays. There might be imports or heavily out of print. If I'm wrong, by all means, let me know in the comments. I think these are two films that I have seen years ago, but don't remember. The first one being Cahill, and I think that's directed by Andrew McLaughlin, as is my other John Wayne DVD. That's McClintock, yeah, both directed by Andrew McLaughlin. I've seen quite a few of his films. Good director, always teams up with Wayne well. So, yeah, looking forward to at some stage revisiting them. I must have seen them years and years ago. That's the famous one with the spanking scene, I think. Very unpolitical correct. But yeah, we'll go with that. Next DVD I bought, The Silver Street, The Silver Fleet even. Now it says Powell and Pressburger there, but I don't think they directed it. I think they just produced it. Starring the great Ralph Richardson, and the main reason I bought it, if you watch me watch his video at the weekend, Googie Withers in it, and I've been getting into Googie Withers films. Such a great actress, and actually on my weekly watches, subscriber Matt, he pointed out to me that Googie Withers' grandson has a film YouTube channel. I think it's got One Too Many, which I was actually subscribed to. I was watching earlier on in the day at work. He put up a Kubrick ranking video, and I wasn't aware that he was Googie Withers' grandson. So I actually reached out to him and said, "I watched your video this earlier, and I didn't realise you was Googie's grandson, and I've been watching a couple of films, and I actually had a little conversation about his grandmother's films, which was quite nice actually. Yes, Silver Fleet. This looks like a decent World War II one. It's 1943, so it's very propaganda. Let's have a look on the back. When the Nazis overrun Holland, they seize large shipyard and turn it into a production centre for U-boats. Jeep Van Leyden, Ralph Richardson, the shipyard's owner, is called to a meeting with the head of the Gestapo and offered a deal. Collaborate and help to boost U-boat production, or else. That don't sound much of a deal to me. But there is something the Gestapo don't know. Van Leyden is actually a hero of the local resistance, and he sets in motion a desperate plan to strike back against the U-boat production plant. There are two completed U-boats in the yards. One becomes the target of a daring theft, while the other gives Van Leyden an opportunity to launch a do-or-die assassination attempt against his unsuspecting nasty, they probably were nasty, Nazi masters. Yeah, so that sounds like it's going to be right up my street. I do like my World War II stuff. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4 titles from Screenbound Entertainment. They had a really good sale on actually. Dirt cheap titles, 3, 4, 5 quid a piece. But the first one I did make a boo-boo on. I thought I was ordering a Blu-ray, but when it turned up I'd ordered a DVD. And that's The Haunted Strangler with Boris Karloff. Looks a bit like a Hammerish type film. I don't think it is, but it gives me that sort of vibes. And this is The Haunted Strangler, London 1880. English author James Rankin, Boris Karloff, believes that the wrong man was hanged 20 years earlier for a series of murders. but his investigation lead him to a horrible end for him. Gruesomely inaccessible secret. Yeah, so that sounds like it is my stuff. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it is Hammer, but it just got the vibe of it. And look at that great artwork on the front. Yeah, so that's all the DVDs. Now we'll carry on with the Blu-rays and the rest of my screen-bound entertainment order. Next one, Jigsaw. Now, I remember somebody talking about this. Starring Jack Warner. It's set in Brighton, a crime film. And I can't remember who was talking. It might have been Neil. It could have been Sammy when he was talking about English films. Or it could have been my friend Larry, because he lives close to Brighton and he sometimes tells me about local films. So whoever it is who's been talking about this, please let me know, because I've been racking my brains about it, to be honest. Yeah, Jigsaw. Then next up, we've got The Deadly Bees. I absolutely loved The Swarm. Thought that was a great film. I know Stuart liked that too. So, another B film, and I think it was £3. I was all over that. Starring Susanna Lee, Frank Finlay, Guy Dolman. Not really familiar with them. I'm sure maybe Neil could tell me more information about those ones. But yeah, that looks like it's going to be some good B disaster type 70s fun. And the last one from Screenbound Entertainment. Well, actually, it's not the last one, but I'll show you in a minute. Tokyo Gore Police. Looks wacky. Looks out of this world. The main reason I got it, it's got that girl who was in Audition, and I've never ever seen her in anything else, so I thought I'd give that a go. Yeah, it wasn't the last one I ordered, because apparently, like a plonker, I ordered 2 copies. Meeting up with Stuart and Ollie in a couple of weeks, and I'll probably pass it on to Stuart, because I know Stuart's got a few goodies for me, and I've only got a couple of things for him. So yeah, I'll pass that on to Stuart. Next up, a cheapie from Amazon. Again, about £3, I think. Rubber, a film about a killer condom. No, not really. A killer tyre, which just sounds really wacky, really weird. I remember back in the day when the Poundland Blu-rays were a thing, this was going about some people's Poundlands, because I used to see people pick them up, and I never did find it in my shop, so I thought I'll finally give that a go. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably going to be crap, but we'll try it anyway. Next up, one from eBay, One Life, and this is one that's been on my radar for a little while, and I saw it for about £4, so I thought I'd grab it. Yeah, it sounds a bit Schindler's List type. That is why I've been on the radar of this one. Let me read out the synopsis. One Life tells the true story of Sir Nicky Winton, a young London broker who, in the months leading up to World War II, rescued 669 predominantly Jewish children from the Nazis. Nicky visited Prague in December 1938 and found families who had fled the rise of Nazis in Germany and Austria, living in desperate conditions with little or no shelter and food, and under threat of Nazi invasion. He immediately realised it was a race against time. How many children could he and the team rescue before the borders closed? 50 years later, in 1988, and Nicky lives haunted by the fate of the children he wasn't able to bring to safety in England, always blaming himself for not doing more. It's not until a live BBC television show, That's Life, I remember that, Nicholas Ransom surprises him by introducing him to some surviving children, now adults. Yeah, Anthony Hopkins, going to be up my street. I'm looking forward to that one. And Next up from a charity shop, just 50p I think, J.J. Abrams' Super 8, a film I've seen years and years ago and quite enjoyed it. And I thought I had a copy and I was going to watch it a couple of weeks ago and didn't have it, so saw it for 50p, I just grabbed it. Now, thinking about it, I think James might have said he's got a copy for me on my pile rated sent. So if you have, James, don't worry, I've grabbed it. I think James upgraded to the 4K and was going to send me his Blu-ray. I think so. I don't think I've imagined that. So yeah, glad to enter that into the collection. Next up from Amazon, about a £5, Julius Caesar. Right, check out the cast on this. Charlton Heston, Jason Robards, John Gielgud, Richard Chamberlain, Robert Vaughan, Diana Rigg. What could go wrong? Well, apparently, I was talking to Stuart that I've got this, and he already owned it. He doesn't like it. It's very Shakespearean in the dialect, and he couldn't get on with it. So I'll put it in. I'll give it a try. You never know. I might resonate with it. I live in Warwickshire, Shakespeare country, so maybe there's some Shakespearean blood in there somewhere waiting to get out. We'll give it a go. And last up, a film I watched on Fire Stick Plus and absolutely loved it. I thought this was a smashing film. Companion. Best to go into this one not knowing anything about it. Just let it unfold, because it certainly surprised me and kept surprising me. And great sci-fi. Unfortunately, we didn't get a Blu-ray. On eBay, a lot of them were really expensive, but I managed to click lucky, and they had some French releases, I think, on Rareways for a tenner, so I grabbed one. I tell you what, this girl, is it Sophie Turner, I think, isn't it? I also watched her in Heretic a couple of nights ago, and she's a rising superstar. She is. She's really good. Really looking forward to seeing what else she does in future. So that's it, guys. That's everything I grabbed over the last couple of weeks. Let me know what you think. Any good ones in there? Any stinkers? Let me know. Have a nice day, and I'll catch you all later. Ta-ra.